Does Donna need long-term care insurance? All right, the lady I just got off the horn with today, her name is not Donna, I just used that as my proxy. Her biggest concern was actually long-term care. And and she's talking to a guy here next week who's pushing her into buying long-term care. And all right, so let's go over this. Because I believe this guy's a true believer that he thinks everyone needs long-term care, that long-term care is the biggest risk since global warming. Oh, global warming. I just got done watching a video from the CDN, I forgot what it's called, but talk about the hide to decline story. It's just, like, you might not know what hide to decline is, but I do, and it's sickening how blatantly idiotic these people think we are. It's no different than Jonathan Gruber with Obamacare. I mean, literally calling the American voter stupid. These people are the same thing. Michael Mann, all his band of frauds. It's nuts. It's nuts. And yet here we are today looking at Davos. Global warming! It's crazy. All right, so I don't want to say it's fraudulent on long-term care stuff, but it becomes the point where it's just so trite that you're like, dude, can anyone think for themselves here? Anyone, because the headlines are not what the articles say when it comes to long-term care. All right, so let's go to old Donna here. Donna's 60, going to retire from the federal government. She's going to have a pension. I didn't write that down. So she's going to have a pension of $30,000. Make sure you can see that. Yep, $30K. Because she's FERS, she'll still get Social Security, and we think it's about $25K. All right, so between the pension and Social Security, she's got $55,000 a year. By the time she retires, she'll have no debt, none whatsoever. Mortgage paid off, car paid off. She drives a 2015, not trying to buy anything soon. She likes to travel, but she doesn't travel on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, or whatever that lady's name is, budget. She travels on just a regular good old American middle-class person budget for sure. No kids, single. Health is okay. Both her parents died relatively early. I think her mom died, I think she said 70, and her dad maybe 79 or something like that. I can't remember if she has siblings or not. But anyway, so that's the state of Donna. I can't remember. I don't think she smokes. I forgot. But anyway, her issue is she feels her health's okay, but she doesn't expect to live to 100. All right, so the scenario is she's retired, and she's like, well, what if I need long-term care? Because my advisor has pushed me to that and is making her panic. All right, so here's what's happening, and here's why I'll just tell you she doesn't. All right, so she has $1 million roughly $1 million in a TSP. All right, a thrift savings plan, $1 million. She's got $200,000 in a Roth. She has a house that will be paid for $340,000. All right, and she has no debt. So her total net worth is roughly $1.5 million. $1.5 million. All right, of which she'll get $55,000 a year of guaranteed income, both adjusted for inflation as well. All right, so and she's not spending like a ton of bricks. I mean, she's not like a drunken sailor, I should say. She's not spending, or like a newly minted E1, just got a basic training in an infantryman. For you sailors who are offended because I'm saying a drunken sailor, we'll just say a drunken infantryman. She's not. So she's got $1.5 liquid million of total net worth, of which 1.2 is liquid. All right, so let's just say for simplicity, we're just going to say, and she doesn't spend, she'll probably spend $60,000 a year, $5,000 a month. The bulk is going to come from here. So we're just going to say on that 1.2 million that she has, we're just going to say for simplicity, she's only going to get 4% a year. That's it. So we're going to do present value, 4% interest, 10 years. We're not going to do any payments, and she'll have $1.77 million when she's 70 years old. 1.77 million when she's 70, and I'm not even adding anything for her home. All right, so let's say long-term care, we'll even say it costs $100,000 a year. All right, so $100,000 a year today, we'll increase that by 5% a year. So $100,000 a year, which, I mean, my God, again, $100,000 a year, that's, what do we say, we'll say 5.5% increase. We'll say 5.5%, we'll say 10 years, zero payment. That will be $170,000 for long-term care. So let's do a different number here. Long-term care, we'll say $100K a year. In 10 years, it'll be $170K. All right, let's keep going down. So now we're going to say she's getting 3% a year on her investments. All right, so 177,000 present value, 3% a year on her investments. 10 years, zero payment. That will be worth 2.387. But Josh, she has to take money out for RMDs. Yeah, she will have to take money out for RMDs. That doesn't mean she has to spend it. And that, but taxes will come out for it too. But again, we're giving her 3% a year, man. We're not giving her 3% a year. You can say 5% a year, of which 2% a year goes to taxes and spending, but we're only giving her 3% a year, which means that'll grow to $2.37 million by the time she's 80 years old, all right? And now let's say our long-term care at 170, we're gonna say 170, well, again, use 5.5%, interest, 10 years, and zero payment. That'll be $290,000. That's when she's 70, $290 when she's 80. All right. You see where I'm going here? I mean, look, I don't even care. This right here, I think we said that'll be 5. Did I say 5 or 4%? I can't remember. 4% or 5%. I can't remember. This is 3%. I mean, it's not, by the time she's 80 years old, presumably when the time she need the long-term care is coming up, she has, $300,000 a year for long-term care. Let's say she needed it for 5 years. She has $2.37 million for which to pay it. $300,000 a year, 5 years. That's just not going to happen. It's just not. She'll have more than adequate money to cover that. Yeah, you got to pay tax on it, I get all that, but she's not needing a long-term care policy. She can absolutely self-insure, for sure. On top of that, she still has her pension and all that. We're not even including that in there. There's just no reason for her to get long-term care whatsoever, none. What else? And then what we're talking about today too is like, look, and you might be eight years in, it costed $300,000 a year. Then because you have knee deep in Alzheimer's. Then you don't even know who you are, so you don't care. My goodness, the nursing home will say, "We'll take you, we'll spend all your money, and then we'll go on Medicaid." You see what I'm saying? There's no reason at all for her to have long-term care. So let me share with you, my friends, when you have a need for insurance. So just use myself for an example. So your old buddy Josh has 4 kids, all right? My wife doesn't make that much money. If I die, she's destitute, that's for sure, because we got this big fat mortgage. The likelihood of me dying is not very high, but if it did happen, I know for a fact she would be in a world of hurt. So I buy term life insurance to deal with that not likely event happening, but if it did happen, it would be catastrophic. We got another non-likely event happening here from Ms. Donna. It's not likely she will need long-term care, and if it is, it's not likely she'll need very much expenses for it. Maybe $200,000 at most. But if she needed more than that, it's not catastrophic because she has this kind of savings. You see what I'm saying? That's where you get insurance. You get insurance for the catastrophic issues that could arise, which you cannot deal with. So catastrophic issues that could arise, even if they're not likely, you get insurance to cover that. This is not a likely event happen. If it does, it's not catastrophic. It's just not. So you don't get insurance. So don't get insurance if A, the likelihood of an event happening is not likely, and B, if it does happen, it's not catastrophic. Now, you will never get insurance for the event happening if it is likely. So let me use a different example here. If you have a life insurance policy and it's likely you're going to die, or you're trying to get a life insurance policy, the cost for life insurance or any insurance, if it's a likely event happening, is going to be through the roof. So most people will be too expensive to buy. In fact, this is one of the issues with long-term care insurance because they don't know how to price it. They're like, we're not sure if it's likely or not. We don't know. So we're going to price it as if it were likely just to make sure we got our ducks in a row from the insurance company. Remember, you buy insurance. You buy insurance if the event that's going to happen is not likely to happen. And if it did happen, it would be catastrophic. All right. And from an insurance company's perspective, they're going to say, we are not going to give you insurance if the event that we're insuring is likely, unless we charge you an arm and a leg for it. We've got to make sure we're doing our due diligence not to risk our company if we're giving you an insurance policy for an event that's likely to happen. If the event is likely to happen, i.e. you're going to die in 3 to 5 years and you're going to want a $10 million life insurance, we're going to have to charge you a significant premium to cover our risk. It's that simple. That's how insurance works. Likely to happen, high, insurance company doesn't want to touch you with a 10-foot pole unless they charge you a significant amount, in which case you're not going to buy it anyway. Likely to happen low, the insurance company loves you because they're like, we're going to essentially get these premiums for free. You're going to pay us these premiums, it's not going to cost anything. Likely low, catastrophic, buy the insurance. Likely low, not catastrophic, just self-insure. Hope that helps. This is important to understand. All right, we'll see you.